Oops, I spent again. A student expense tracker for daily spending awareness. It is a witty, student-friendly tool for keeping your wallet alive. This was created because students know the struggle. Isang food trip lang, isang budol lang, or isang gala lang. Next thing you know, your wallet is drained. From commutes, dates, school needs, budol treats, and random spends, everything just adds up so fast. So, this tracker helps students see exactly where their money goes, assess how their day went and match it with their spending, become more mindful about daily expenses, build better saving habits, and stay engaged by the relatable texts so that budgeting doesn't feel like a chore. By turning expense tracking into something humorous and real, we hope to make students say, "Oops, I spent again, pero at least naka-track." First, we have the expense menu. This shows all the categories of the spending for the day. The user can select where they spend their money like meals, commutes, post-school activities, budols, or even snacks. The menu is repeated in a loop so that the user can keep adding expenses until they are finished for the day. For food and meals, there's a special sub-menu. The user can choose breakfast, lunch, dinner, or even a date with someone special. After selecting, they input the amount they spent, which is stored in a list so that it allows the program to calculate the totals later. The add expense function handles the storing of the category and the amount. It also includes input validation, making sure that the user enters a valid number and not a negative amount. Every entry is displayed back, confirming that the expense has been recorded. Overall, this part of the program demonstrates variables, user input, lists, loops, and function. It's designed to be simple, interactive, and even a little fun with the witty messages and emojis. By tracking expenses this way, students can see exactly where their money goes, reflect on their spending habits, and save for goals. It encourages smart financial habits in a playful and engaging way.
This function is called View Expenses, and its job is to display all the expenses saved in the program. So this function is used to show the list of expenses the user has recorded. First, it checks if the expenses list is empty using if not expenses. If there are no expenses, it prints a message saying no expenses recorded yet, and then returns, which means the function stops right there. If there are expenses, it prints a header called today's expenses. Then it uses a for loop with enumerate, which lets us loop through each expenses while also giving each one a number starting from 1. Inside the loop, each item in expenses is split into two parts, cat for category and AMT for amount. For every expense, the function prints the number, the category, and the amount formatted to two decimal places, using curly bracket, amount, column, which introduce the formatting, and then decimal to F, so it looks like real money. Basically, this function neatly displays all recorded expenses in an organized and numbered list. So this function is called Calculate Total, and its job is to compute the total amount of all expenses recorded. Inside the function, there's a line that says total equal sum parenthesis amount for underscore amount in expenses. This uses a generator expression to go through the expenses list. Each item in expenses usually looks like parenthesis, category, amount. But since we only need the amount, we use parenthesis, underscore, amount. The underscore just means we're ignoring the category. Sum then adds up all those amounts to get the final total. After computing it, the function returns the value stored in total, so other parts of the program can use it. So this function is called budget summary, and its purpose is to show the user how much they spent, how much allowance they have left, and how much their spending affects their saving goal. First, the function gets the total expenses by calling calculate total. Then it calculates the spending allowance by subtracting the saving goal from the daily allowance. This basically reserves the money you want to save. Next, it computes remaining spending, which is how much allowance you still have left after your expenses. If remaining spending is still zero or positive, that means you're within budget. The function prints the total spent and the remaining allowance. The format is curly bracket total column 2f, and the other one is curly bracket remaining column 2f. The curly bracket insert the variable inside the f string, and the column 2f formats the value with exactly 2 decimal places, making it look like a proper peso amount. In this case, it also tells the user that their savings are untouched, and it set remaining saving to the original saving goal. But if remaining spending is negative, that means you overspent. The function calculates how much you went over using overspent equal ABS remaining spending and subtract that from your saving. It prints how much you overspent using the same formatting rule, overspent column 2f. So the money is displayed neatly. If there are still saving left, it prints the remaining amount. If not, it warns the user that their saving for their goal item are gone. At the end, the function prints a summary of your saving progress, whether your saving goal is still safe, partially reduced, or completely used up. It also mentions the goal item to make it clear what you're saving for.
In this line, we have our student daily expense tracker. Here, we have our input, where it asks for student information, like our name, year, start time, and end time. Here, we have our allowance and savings. This is our logic. While true loop, try allowance, float, input, enter, we will be asked to enter our weekly or monthly allowance. And if allowance is negative, allowance cannot be negative, try again. This is called an error handling or safety checks, where if we cannot comply with the given instructions, it will pop up like an allowance cannot be negative, try again. And after complying with the program, it will let us continue. And then, if else not, like invalid input enter a numeric value, it would not continue and would keep saying enter a numeric value. And once again, if we comply to that, we will continue. Next, to the globals, to the savings goal. This is also a logic while loop. Here is the variables used. The one here, are examples of variables, so that the program knows which one belongs, and so for the program to able to run smoothly. Here our savings goal, we have to enter a number, a positive number, and that isn't greater than our allowance. And once we have complied to all of this, we can continue next. Or if we haven't complied, it will also say savings goal cannot be negative or exceed your allowance, try again. And until we meet or comply, we would go continue next. And in this line, we have our goal item. It asks for our goal item or the one that we have been wanting to buy, a specific item on your list. Here we have our global expenses. This is a variable. This is called a list. This list stores our expenses. We have here the menu. The number 1 is our food choices, number 2 our transportation, number 3 and 4 and 5. Here we have all of this menu to choose from. And now if we choose to enter 7, it would break and would print our summary. This line here shows our final report. For the input, it will print us our output. It would print our student name, college year, school time, our start and end time, view expenses, and budget summary. And this is all for our code.
So the program asks the user to choose from 47, and then the program will output the corresponding text. And after that, the program will ask the user to input the required information. So for example, choice number 5, it will ask the user to enter the places they went and the amount they used. And after that, the program will add those to their corresponding lists, and it will loop back into the choice menu. And if the user chooses 7, it will output their daily summary, and it will terminate the program.
Here's our presentation in our flowchart. My name is Cedric L.B. Poreza, PSIT 105. The flowchart shows the simple starting steps of a student budgeting system. It begins with the start of the program, then asks the student to enter basic information like their name, year level, and time in and out. After that, the student types in their allowance, how much they want to save, and what item they are saving for. The program then creates an empty list where all expenses will be placed later. Once everything is ready, the system shows the main menu so the student can start adding expenses, checking their remaining allowance, or seeing their savings progress. Thank you.